Have you heard of the old saying, once something is on the internet, it's there forever? Well, these videos never made it to the internet. Here's our list of 10 videos you can't find on the internet.
Number 10.
Armin Meiwes tapes. One of the most disgusting stories you will ever read is that of Armin Meiwes. In 2001, Meiwes ran an advertisement on a website named The Cannibal Cafe, looking for a willing victim to be slaughtered and consumed. A man named Bernd Jürgen Armando Brands from Berlin responded to the message and agreed to meet Meiwes. On March 9, 2001, the two met at Meiwes' house in Rotenburg, Germany, and Brandes was killed. The entire event was filmed on a 2-hour-long videotape. The details of the massacre are gruesome and hard to describe. Meiwes started by amputating the penis of Brands, and the two ate it. Meiwes then slaughtered Brands and placed the body on a meat hook. Over the next 10 months, Meiwes consumed approximately 20 kilograms. That's 44 pounds of the flesh. He even grounded up some of Brandes' bones and tried to use them as a substance for cooking flour. All of the events were recorded on the video, which was later seized by authorities and forever sealed from the public.
Number 9.
Timothy Treadwell death tape. Timothy Treadwell was an American bear enthusiast and founder of the bear protection organization Grizzly People. He lived with the grizzly bears of the Cottonmouth National Park in Alaska for 13 summers. At the end of his 13th summer in the park in 2003, he and his girlfriend Amy were killed by a 28-year-old brown bear, whose stomach was later found to contain human remains and clothing. In the moments leading up to the mauling, either Treadwell, but probably Amy, turned on a video camera and captured audio of the attack. The camera was either in a bag or had its lens cap on because the video is completely black, but the audio is chilling. The tape lasts roughly 6 minutes, in which Treadwell can be heard screaming for 2/3 of the time. Treadwell's life, work, and death were the subject of Werner Herzog's critically acclaimed 2005 documentary film, Grizzly Man.
Number 8.
Brussels Airport Diamond Heist video. On February 18, 2013, 8 mass shooters stole around $50 million in precious stones from the belly of a plane at the Brussels airport. The heist was done after the men got to the airplane terminal through a gap made in the security fence. The culprits, who were dressed like cops, drove 2 vehicles directly to the area where a Brinks armored van was moving diamonds to the plane. In 15 minutes, the robbers loaded 130 bags of diamonds into their vehicles and left. They used automatic weapons but never fired a shot during the heist. The heist occurred during a 5-minute window in which the diamonds were being transported to the plane. It has since been realized that a large percentage of the diamonds were uncut, which makes them extremely hard to trace. The entire event was captured by the airport security system. The police have since attempted to identify the culprits, but have not been able to because of their mask. The video remains sealed to the public, and it is unlikely to be released in the near future.
Number 7.
Sesame Street episode 847. The Wicked Witch of the West, played by Margaret Hamilton, reprising her role from the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, flies over Sesame Street and loses her broom. The magical cleaning tool falls into the hands of David. Afraid of what the witch might do with it, he refuses to give the broom up. The Wicked Witch responds by making it rain inside Hooper's store and even threatens to turn Big Bird into a feather duster and David into a basketball. This episode prompted an unusually large amount of male responses from parents, almost entirely negative. Due to the parents' reactions, Anna Herrera of the CTW Research Department suggested that the Margaret Hamilton show not be rerun.
Number 6.
The Boston Marathon bombing. On April 15, 2013, 2 pressure cooker bombs exploded at the Boston Marathon and caused horrific damage, including the deaths of 3 people and the maiming of dozens. A couple of days after the attack, the FBI directed their attention to a pair of brothers named Dzhokhar and Tamerlan Tsarnaev. A manhunt was carried out for the brothers, and they were located in the Boston suburb of Watertown. After a shootout in which an MIT police officer was killed, Tamerlan Tsarnaev was shot dead, and Dzhokhar escaped only to be captured alive later in that day. One of the main factors that caused the FBI to directly target the brothers was video surveillance footage. It was widely reported that the police hold a video of Dzhokhar Tsarnaev dropping his backpack at the site of the second explosion. However, it appears the video could be sealed from the public.
Number 5.
American Airlines Flight 77. On September 11, 2001, American Airlines Flight 77 was hijacked by terrorists and flown into the Pentagon near Washington, D.C., killing all 59 people on board, as well as 125 people in the building. The event was witnessed by dozens of people and was recorded by a large number of security cameras surrounding the Pentagon. Despite the large amount of footage, the FBI confiscated the tapes and refused to release them to the public. This has caused people to speculate about why the videos are being kept secret.
Number 4.
Sandy Hook surveillance video. On December 14, 2012, Adam Lanza shot and killed 26 people in Sandy Hook Elementary School. Following the tragedy, it was reported that the school had recently upgraded their surveillance system and installed video cameras, so visitors who attempted to enter the school during business hours were required to be individually identified by video. The system was placed at the front of the school, but it is unclear if other cameras were spread over the grounds. At about 9:35 a.m., which was 5 minutes after Sandy Hook had locked its doors for the day, Adam Lanza shot his way through a door at the front of the school with a Bushmaster X-M15 E2S rifle and started the killing spree. At this time, he was caught on camera by the school security system. However, the tape has yet to be released to the public for viewing. The police have not even released a still shot of Lanza at the school, which has only fueled the incredible amount of conspiracy theories that exist around the event.
Number 3.
Christine Chubbuck's suicide tape. On July 15, 1974, Christine Chubbuck committed suicide on live television during her program Suncoast Digest. The program was a community affairs talk show in which Chubbuck interviewed guests on a wide variety of issues. On the morning of her suicide, Chubbuck told her co-workers that she had to read some news before starting her Suncoast Digest interview. Christine covered 3 stories and then started to discuss a shooting that had occurred in a restaurant at the Sarasota Bradenton International Airport. The station attempted to run a short clip of the shooting, but the tape jammed on the camera, went back to Chubbuck's. At this time, Christine spoke her last words. In keeping with Channel 40's policy of bringing you the latest in blood and guts and in living color, you are going to see another first attempted suicide. She then drew a gun and shot herself in the back of the right ear. It was reported that Chubbuck fell violently forward, hit her head on the desk, fell to the ground, and then began to violently twitch. The camera quickly went to black and the station ran a public service announcement.
Number 2.
Karla Homolka tapes. The Scarborough rapist is a man named Paul Bernardo, who terrorized the community of Scarborough, Ontario during the late 1980s and early 90s. In 1988, the police began to realize a serial rapist was attacking young women in Scarborough. In 1990, Bernardo also got engaged to a woman named Karla Homolka and became infatuated with her younger sister, Tammy Homolka. Bernardo eventually convinced Karla to drug her sister and allowed him to rape her. The two videotaped the event and mocked Tammy. During one attack on Tammy, she began to vomit and choke to death. In response, Karla took the camera and filmed herself in Tammy's clothes and pretended to be her. After an investigation, Tammy Homolka's death was ruled an accident. Bernardo and his wife Karla became notorious for the abduction, rape, and murder of the 2 Ontario schoolgirls, 14-year-old Leslie Mahaffey and 15-year-old Kristen French. Bernardo also raped 20 other women, known as the Scarborough Rapist attacks.
Number 1.
Steve Irwin's death video. Steve Irwin was a wildlife enthusiast that devoted his life to helping animals. On September 4, 2006, Irwin was killed by a stingray while traveling in Port Douglas and filming an underwater documentary titled Ocean's Deadliest. During the event, Irwin was snorkeling at Bat Reef, part of the Great Barrier Reef, in Port Douglas, Queensland, when the weather turned bad. In response, Steve entered the shallower waters of the area and decided to film some segments for his daughter's Bindi's television program named Bindi the Jungle Girl. As Irwin approached a stingray in hopes of getting some good television shots, the creature turned and stabbed its spine into Steve's chest. After the accident, the video of Steve Irwin's death was reviewed by law enforcement, but was eventually destroyed at the request of his family. Despite the fact, millions of people continue to search the web for Steve Irwin's death video. And that concludes our list of 10 videos you can't find on the internet. Did we forget to mention something on our list? Make sure to let us know in the comment section below, and like always, make sure to like, share, and subscribe.